students after a lively discussion or activity. The room starts to quiet down. And instead of rushing to the next lesson, you pause and ask, what did you notice? What surprised us? How could we really do it next time? In that moment, learning deepens. The students begin to reflect not just on what they did, but on how they thought, felt, and worked together. This reflective process is what we call debriefing. Hi, good day. This is China, and today we're going to discuss about debriefing after an activities and lessons. But before that, when you hear the word debriefing, what comes first into your mind? It could be a reflection, assessment, feedback, discussion, evaluation, review, analysis. Well, let's see. When we say debriefing, it is an essential part of the teaching and learning process. It is a structured reflection that takes place after an activity or lessons, allowing both teachers and learners to process experiences, extract lessons, and identify areas for improvements. Through debriefing, educators ensure that learning goes beyond the activity itself and becomes a tool for deeper understanding and growth. Now, let us discuss the role of debriefing in reflection. Debriefing serves as a bridge between learning and experience. When students are guided to reflect, they develop critical thinking skills, self-awareness, and ability to evaluate their own actions and decisions. For teachers, it offers valuable insights into students' participation, understanding, and learning outcomes. Reflection through debriefing ensures that experiences become more meaningful and contribute to the long-term learning. Asking guiding questions for debriefing. Now, the quality of a debriefing session depends largely on what questions asked. Guiding questions encourage learners to analyze their experience, share perspectives, and think critically. Now, how can we know if these questions are effective? Effective guiding questions are open-ended, thought-provoking, and aligned with the learning objectives. Questions like, what did you learn from this activity? What challenges did you encounter and how did you address them? Or, if you could do this activity again, what would you do differently? So by asking the right questions, we educators can help our students to connect classroom activities to real-life situations. Well-crafted questions encourage learners to think beyond memorization and apply concepts to experiences they encounter outside school. For example, instead of only asking for definitions, teachers might ask, where do you see this happening in your community? Or, how would you solve this problem if you were in that situation? Such questions promote critical thinking, problem solving, and reflection, making lessons more meaningful and practical. This strategy also develops transfer of learning, the ability to take what is learned in one context and apply it in another. When students see the relevance of lessons to their daily lives, they become more engaged, motivated, and confident in their learning. It also nurtures 21st century skills such as communication, decision-making, and creativity, because they are encouraged to think about real-world applications instead of abstract concepts alone. In short, asking the right questions bridges the gap between theory and practice, turning classroom activities into real-life situations. Creating a safe environment for feedback. For debriefing to be effective, students must feel safe to express their thoughts without the fear of judgments and criticisms. That is why we educators play a crucial role in setting a respectful and supportive tone during discussion. The strategies include establishing clear ground rules for respectful communication. It could be another, acknowledging all contributions equally. Next is encouraging honesty while maintaining sensitivity. So when students trust the environment, they're more likely to share genuine reflection and provide constructive feedback. Analyzing what worked and didn't work. Debriefing provides an opportunity to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of an activity or lesson. Students and teachers can identify what strategies were effective, what obstacles arose, and what improvements can be made. This process is not about placing blame, but about learning from experiences. For example, if group work was successful in promoting collaboration, it can be repeated. But when time management was a challenge, many adjustments can be made in future lessons. Integrating debriefing into lesson plan. Debriefing should not be seen as an optional step, but as an integral part of the teaching and learning process. Teachers can include debriefing into their lesson plans by, of course, allocating a few minutes at the end of each activity for reflection, using structured formats like start, stop, and continue, or what, so what, and now what. Next is designing lesson objectives that include reflection and feedback, and of course, documenting student responses for future planning.
How do you debrief after playing classroom games? Imagine finishing a fun game in class and wondering how to turn that excitement into a learning moment. That's where debriefing comes in. It's a simple but powerful step that helps students reflect and grow from their experience. When you finish a game, don't just move on to the next activity. Take a few minutes to guide students through a quick talk about what just happened. Ask questions like, what did you notice during the game? Why do you think certain strategies worked or didn't work? What did you learn about teamwork or problem solving? These questions make students think about their actions and feelings. It's also helpful to encourage students to share their thoughts with a partner or small group first. This gives everyone a chance to speak up without feeling overwhelmed. You can use different reflection tools, like asking students to write down one thing they learned or how they felt during the game. Some teachers even use fun prompts, like playing cards with questions on each sue, hearts for feelings, spades for surprises, diamonds for lessons learned, clubs for future ideas. This keeps the debrief lively and engaging. It's important to give students time to think quietly before sharing. Some students need a moment to process their thoughts. After individual reflection, invite students to share with the class or in small groups. Connect the game to your classroom goals by talking about how the skills they practiced can help in other areas. For example, if they worked on listening or following rules, reminded them how those skills matter in class and beyond. Keep the debrief short and focused, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, so it stays energetic and doesn't drag out. Finally, ask students what they will do differently next time.
To sum it up, debriefing after activities and lesson is a vital process that transforms classroom experiences into meaningful learning. It allows students to reflect, evaluate, and improve while providing teachers with insights for better instructional planning. By asking guiding questions, fostering a safe environment, analyzing outcomes, and embedding reflection into lesson plans, educators can ensure that debriefing becomes a powerful tool for growth and continuous improvement. That's all, thank you.